I'm with Anne, and she's been telling me about her previous flood, and for personal reasons, the flood that happened in 2005, Anne wasn't able to move back into her home, fully move back in, prior to the Storm Desmond flood. So really we're going to focus on what happened during Storm Desmond, and what you found, and what happened to you, and how you left your home, and the help you got afterwards, and the fact that you haven't got any insurance, so you've got to have to put this all back until we came along by yourself.
Sounds daft saying I haven't got any insurance, but the insurance company, I paid a few instalments after the first flood in 2005, paid a few, which was 100 and something a month, and then they said, we're stopping your insurance and we're going to put it up, and it was £1,000 a month.
And you obviously couldn't afford that.
Well, I thought £1,000 a month, if I can save that money and then use it if there is a flood, but you say that, but you might not save enough money.
No,
that's the thing.
Absolutely. And then you said you had something through the post offering you a quote. Just before the flood.
3 weeks before this Storm Desmond, I got a quote saying £175 per month, and I thought I'll do that. Then the rain came, and my property was the garage door was sanded down, ready to be varnished. The outside, the big gate, that was pressure washed. There was green on it, very green, and it was going to be varnished, some sort of varnish put on. And the rain just kept every day. So I moved my things in instead of finishing that off, because the water was going right up the garage door, and it was getting higher and higher. And I thought, when's this going to stop and dry out? So I moved all my things into the property, clothes and belongings. The garage I filled, ready so that I can arrange them in the house.
And move in properly.
And
you left them on the floor, didn't you? You didn't put them.
Yes, I did. I left them downstairs.
Yes, on the floor.
On the floor, inside a cupboard, and I crammed the cupboard full. And then, lo and behold, the flood came, and I was devastated, really, because I just thought of all my good things that were sitting on the floor.
So you hadn't got lots of furniture in because you hadn't moved back in properly?
The furniture that was there was already there. It had been there for a number of years, but there was dresses and things, and they just collapsed and fell to pieces. They were just lying, picked them up, and they just fell to pieces.
So you had to throw them out.
Just throw them out.
So when you realised you were going to flood, you hadn't signed up for a flood warning because you hadn't been there long enough really to sign up for an Environment Agency flood warning. How did you realise that you'd got to move, that it was getting that bad and dangerous for you? Did it come up quickly? Did a neighbour come and say to you, I think you'd better get out and move as quickly as you can? Because you are in a very rural location, aren't you?
Well, I was actually in Carlisle at the time. I think I was here, and the rain was coming down, but nobody really said anything about any flooding to me. I never did.
So you weren't at the house when it flooded then? You just went back and...
I went there when somebody said that it looks as though it's going to flood. It's coming up high down near the Civic Centre, down by the River Eden, the bridge. And so I went down and had a look, and it was coming up pretty high, and I thought, I wonder what it'll be like down at Brocklewath. So I went down there and had my Wellingtons on, and it was sort of up to the top of my Wellingtons, and I was looking through the window into the house at my things on the floor, and I thought, I wonder if it's going to get any higher, and it did. It got higher than the first flood in 2005, 8th of January.
And you told me it got up as high as the windowsill.
Yes, it just went past the windowsill, so that meant in the kitchen it went just above the worktops, whereas last time it was below the worktop. So this time it was above the worktop, so that meant it went into my ovens, my microwave, everything on the top. So those would be sort of loose at the back, so that meant the worktops.
And we were saying a lot of people don't realise what flood water is like. You said it was brown and gritty and filthy, and that was what caused the devastation, all the stuff it brought with it, not just the water, but
It's okay,
the brown.
It's just water, but it's coming everything. It's the sewerage and the river and it's just like mud. It dries onto all your goods. So when you pick your photographs up or something, it's half dry, half wet. Wet in the middle, round the edges is dry, curling up all your photos, everything, your clothes, your jeans, everything's covered in mud. Oh, at the time, I walked away from it. I just said, that's it. I just walked away.
So when you went back to your home for the first time after the flood water had gone, obviously, because it wouldn't have been safe before then, because it's so rural, isn't it,
Yes.
where you are? What were your feelings when you walked through the door? Were you absolutely gutted, I should imagine, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do that time.
Were you alone?
Well, yes, I was at the time. When I walked in. Then I heard about the CFF. Some people came to see me and phoned me, and they said, would you like some help from the Muslim Society? And I just said, yes, please. And they came out and they cheered me up a bit, and they said, it's okay, we'll give you mops, buckets and things. And I thought, okay, so I have to get somebody to help me. And they said, no, we'll help. We'll bring a team of people and we'll clean the place up. And we did. And I felt as though it was just part of life and it would work out. But I'm still now here in this position because they left and nothing happened much after that.
Because you have no flood insurance and you had no money to put it back.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that nice that the community spirit when something like that happened? Because how many of them came to help you?
I think there could have been maybe 4 or 5. And then they got a company from, was it Liverpool? Man and his two sons came and dismantled all the walls, took all the
all the plaster off,
plaster and everything off
to enable it to dry.
It didn't take long to do it. What, maybe 2 days?
And that's the state it still is in 19 months later.
That's it. Yes, because you get that much help at the beginning, you just think that it's gonna go on, and then it's gonna get built up. They said they would come and build it back up, the walls, but I don't know what happened after that. So maybe too much for everybody.
Yes, because there's so many people flooded, and you in a remote area, sort of very isolated, and not like Warwick Road where there's multiple houses all together, where all the media are.
Yes.
You were in the middle of nowhere.
To your neighbour, and you can talk.
Yes.
Down here, you're not next to a neighbour. You're just next to one neighbour, and if the neighbour isn't very pleased with something you're doing, you can cause an argument.
Yes, I know.
Like I used a skip, the wrong skip, and I got into trouble for that. I didn't realise. I thought the council had brought it down for me, and I used the wrong skip. But never mind. These things happen.
So here you are, 19 months on. You're still not able to move back home, and then we're obviously going to come in and refurbish the house for you. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I actually sat back, and then when you said to me, "Are you pleased about it?"
You didn't know, because you'd gone quiet on the end of the phone when
the tears were just rolling down. It brought a lot of stress out.
That's lovely. That is lovely, and we hope that we've got a board meeting next week that we can decide what to do. Obviously, it won't be done overnight, but we hope to be able to give you back a flood resilient house, so you can move back in and feel a lot safer than you do now, and also know that if the flood water does come in again, the damage will be a lot less to your home, and you'll be able to get back in sooner than you could this time.
As time goes on, you think, what should I do next? Will I be wasting my time? What do I clean next? Will the flood come today, tomorrow? Will it come?
You live very concerned that it's going to flood again, don't you?
Well, I do when I look at the water coming up. When it rains lately, the water comes right up. And I mean, these pictures are from 2003, and on these pictures here, the river is right up.
Anyway, thank you very much for taking time to talk to me, and we'll take you down, and I'll inform you every step of the way as to what's happening and when we're starting work, and we'll need some water, obviously, so we'll need to sort some water. Thanks very much for talking to me, and here goes.
Yeah. Okay.
New house refurbished. Right.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.